But in those days, after that tribulation, the sun will be darkened, and the moon will not give its light, and the stars will be falling from heaven, and the powers in the heavens will be shaken. Then they will see the Son of Man coming in clouds with great power and glory. Then he will send out the angels and gather his elect from the four winds, from the ends of the earth to the ends of heaven. From the fig tree learn its lesson. As soon as its branch becomes tender and puts forth its leaves, you know that the summer is near. So also, when you see these things taking place, you know that he is near at the very gates. Truly I tell you, this generation will not pass away until all these things will take place. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will not pass away. But about that day or hour no one knows, neither the angels in heaven nor the Son, but only the Father. Good morning. Welcome to a short biblical reflection on the Gospel according to Mark chapter 13, verses 24 up to 32. It is about the coming of the Son of Man, the Gospel reading for the 33rd Sunday in Ordinary Time, Year B. This Gospel reading should be still extended up to verse 37, therefore let me read the remaining verses. Beware, keep alert, for you do not know when the time will come. It is like a man going on a journey, when he leaves home and puts his slaves in charge, each with his work, and commands the doorkeeper to be on the watch. Therefore, keep awake, for you do not know when the master of the house will come, in the evening, or at midnight, or at cockcrow, or at dawn. Or else he might find you asleep when he comes suddenly. And what I say to you, I say to all, keep awake. Because in the lectionary we have only up to verse 32. In that we have also two parts, but the first one concerning just about the coming of the Lord, and then from verse 28 it is now explanation using also the parable of the fig tree, and then also of a man going to the journey with those additional verses which illustrate the fact of what the disciples know. They know the nature, they can observe it, but they do not know the real time and nor the hour nor the day when the Lord will come. Let's now go and see first the biblical context. The created elements of the world are also used in prophetical announcements concerning the coming of the day of the Lord. For example, in Isaiah 13 verse 10, for the stars of the heavens and their constellations will not give their light. The sun will be dark at its rising, and the moon will not shed its light. Isaiah 34 verse 4, all the hosts of heaven shall rot away, and the skies roll up like a scroll. All the host shall wither like a leaf withering on a vine, or fruit withering on a fig tree. Zechariah 14 verse 7, and there shall be continuous day, it is known to the Lord, not day and not night, for at evening time there shall be light. This continuous light now is expressed well in the following text from the book of Revelation, chapter 21, verses 23 up to 26. And the city has no need of sun or moon to shine on it, for the glory of God is its light, and its lamp is the lamp. Nations will walk by its light, and the kings of the earth will bring their glory into it. Its gates will never be shut by day, and there will be no night there. People will bring into it the glory and the honor of the nations. This is the description of heavenly Jerusalem. But also we should take into consideration and take reading this warning from the book of Deuteronomy, because the created elements in other religions were divinities. So there is given also this warning to the people of Israel not to make idols out of them. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 19. And when you look up to the heavens and see the sun and the moon and the stars, all the hosts of heaven, do not be led astray, and bow down to them and serve them. The last expression, host of heaven, in some texts of the Old Testament, especially in expression like the Lord of the hosts or God of hosts, is substituted instead of host in the Greek text is written like powers, like in our text. So therefore the powers mentioned in our text would refer to the hosts of heaven. And also we have a consolation now in the book of Revelation chapter 3 verse 20. In the message to the church of Laodicea, we read the following statement. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come into it. I will come into him and eat with him and he with me. So in our text, the stress is on the coming of the Lord, but this day is unknown. As people can observe the phenomena of nature, they cannot exactly say when the Lord is coming. They can only be sure that the Lord is coming, that the Lord is near. But that also the last quotation from the book of Revelation, which gave a consolation, the expectation and being awake, keeping watch for the coming of the Lord should not be like something that paralyzes us, but an active and joyful expectation of the Lord coming. And that this also, the problematic verse 30, that this generation will not pass away until all these things have taken place. Of course, it refers to those who were listening to Jesus, but also to applies to any generation, including ours, of those who are reading now this biblical text. For those at the time of Jesus, the fulfillment we have at the moment of crucifixion, death of Jesus, that the powers of heaven were also shaken. For example, we could read also now from some descriptions of the Passion of the Lord. In Markan Gospel, it is just only very briefly. And when the 6th hour had come, darkness fell over the whole land until the 9th hour. A little bit more in the Lucan Gospel. And it was now about the 6th hour, and darkness fell over the whole land until the 9th hour, the sun being obscured, and the veil of the temple was torn into two. About the veil also we have mentioned in the Markan Gospel as well also in Matthew's Gospel. In Matthew's Gospel we have much more details. Now at the beginning, from the 6th hour, darkness fell upon all the land until the 9th hour. And then later on we read that the earth shook and the rocks were split and the tombs were opened and many bodies of the saints who had fallen asleep were raised. And coming out of the tombs after his resurrection, they entered the holy city and appeared to many. So we can see that the words of Jesus were truly revealed to the people of the first generations, and they also apply to all the generations, including ours and up to the end of the world. And concerning those four elements mentioned at the beginning, the sun, the moon, the stars, and the powers, the word the powers that would be a synonymous for the hosts, and the hosts of heaven in the Old Testament, in the Hebrew Bible, quite often refer also as synonymous of the stars. So if those four elements were becoming divinities idolized by people, they were shaken by the fact of Jesus' death and resurrection, and they are shaken at any time and will be shaken at the end of the world. But this text concludes with this emphasis that though we do not know the time that the Lord will be coming, because also our death is the Lord's coming for each of us, we should not fear, but we should be constantly awake, waiting for the Lord when He comes, with this beautiful emphasis as we read in the book of the Revelation, the quotation which I mentioned, that I will come into Him and eat with Him and He with me. I would like to wish you a nice day and fruitful reflection on this gospel reading. God bless you.